Have you ever looked at your bank account and your bills, and then all of a sudden your chest just tightens? Or do you ever go from I'll handle it to everything suddenly spiraling once you actually look at everything when it comes to finances, bills, the money in your bank account? If that's you, you're not lazy, you're not irresponsible, your nervous system is in survival mode, and this video is for you. So the purpose of this video is I want to explain what's happening in your body and in your nervous system, and I want to give you tools and tips to help you regulate that. So basically a plan that you can use today. So first, let's talk about the survival loop. A survival loop is just a series of actions that happens that sends you into that spiraling mode. So first, you're going to get triggered, whether that's something that happens in the morning, if it's your kid going to school late, they're sick, a bill is due, and then there is the avoidance. I'll handle it later. I'll just get to it whenever I can get to it. And then, of course, you have the forced engagement. So, for example, let's say you lost your job and you need to call unemployment. That's something you forcefully have to do because you need to call to get your money, right? So those are unforeseen circumstances. Of course, if you're laid off or fired, especially if you didn't have anything to do with it, or you need to set yourself up to get your money, to get your income, because you got to live. So this is something that you have to do. This is a task that you have to take care of. And that's more of this feeling of reality is basically setting in, it's kicking in. So you have this flood of emotions. You have panic, you have anxiety, you're emotional, you're frustrated, and of course, you might start crying. I know I have. Then you globalize it. Everything always happens bad to me, nothing never goes right. Maybe this is my fate. This is all I get. This is as good as life gets, basically. And then you shut down. You're scrolling, you're getting lost in Netflix. You're looking for ways to get out of it by detaching yourself to someone else, seeing who can help. There's a multitude of things I know that even I used to do. So this is a predictable nervous system cycle. Your your brain is trying to protect you from emotions, not numbers. So you not checking your bank account or you not wanting to see when your credit cards are due is not you being financially irresponsible. Your nervous system is just protecting your emotions. So this is financial stress acting in survival mode. There's a whole bunch of different modes of survival mode, but I wanted to talk about finances because we've all been there. So, what it can look like is anxiety, it can look like panic disorders, it can look like you shutting down, it also can look like avoidance. When you've been disappointed by people or systems that you have in place or unforeseen circumstances, your body learns that depending equals danger. So, the key concept is getting your body to recognize that this is not a threat, it's more of just an inconvenience. So let's talk about now why does avoidance happens. I don't want you to think of it as a shameful thing or a lazy thing or you're just not capable. It's more so logical. Like of course we all operate under emotions, right? But in the science of it all, everything is just logic. Avoiding gives the brain a short term relief. So basically, it rewards it. So now you're kind of at peace, you're not thinking about it, and that feels good. So the next time that same instant comes up, your brain basically is going to do the same thing again. Like, well, you know what? It kind of felt good last time, so let me just avoid it again, or let me not think about it right now. But that is actually making your stress pile up. And then once you finally face it, a big wave of emotions comes through, and then you're crashing. And you're crashing out probably on everybody else. So, this is basically called stress stacking. So, that one trigger of what you've been avoiding opens the door to everything else. So, basically, your brain is trying to prevent the crash by avoiding the triggers. So, one thing I learned the hard way is I cannot plan unless I self regulate first. I cannot problem solve. I'm no good to myself and I'm no good to others. So I don't want you to think of regulation as an option. It's actually a necessity and it's step one. So when I am overwhelmed, and this can look like anger, this can look like sadness, and this is from something. It's not just out the blue. This is like literally from something happening. I kind of ground myself. I put my feet on the floor. I take deep breaths. I have done something called box breathing. You can look that up. If you want me to make a video about it, I can. Um, I will journal, and sometimes I'll kind of just sit alone. I want to feel those emotions, I want to understand them. If I need a little help from Google, ChatGPT, I usually do that. I don't really seek out help from an actual person because I'm already overstimulated. So for me, I kind of self-regulate first because the whole point is not trying to figure out a plan of action. It's really just trying to regulate your nervous system. This also could look like lo-fi music, a candle, a bath, just kind of just relaxing yourself. If you're in full panic mode, of course, that's totally different. But just to where you can think and you can plan and you can map out things, these things definitely help me. So it definitely does help to say things out loud, to basically label it. So let's say your partner got you upset and you're panicking and you're thinking, they don't love me anymore. You know what? He doesn't love me anymore. He doesn't want to be with me. Name it. Name how you feel. I'm upset. I'm frustrated. I'm sad. I'm angry. And right now, I'm a little probably codependent. And you also name, though, the reality of it. So the reality is not like, oh, my partner is going to leave me. He hates me. He doesn't want me. Me and my partner had a fight. It was inconvenient. It was stressful, but it is okay, and I am safe now. Saying it out loud is kind of like a science when it comes to also writing things. You know, they say when you write things, you're able to remember them longer. It's more so of the same essence, if you will. So, naming actually reduces the intensity of the whole situation in itself. And I don't want you to spend all day there. So, when you're regulating, you can set a timer or you can just kind of mentally tell yourself, you know what, let me ground myself, let me get my together basically. And then, talk to yourself. You know what, hey, this is a survival mode tactic. I'm going to get out of this. We are not fixing everything today. You're teaching your nervous system that everything is okay without collapsing. But also, I want you to work on long term. The next thing we want to talk about is long term regulation. And so, what this looks like is setting up routines. And I know it sounds like remedial, but it's basically training your brain when certain routines is training your brain as in like safety and knowing that your body is safe when you're doing that certain routine. So, for example, when you put a baby to sleep, when you give the baby a bath, when you maybe put on some lullaby music, they're in their warm, comfortable crib, they have on their comfortable pajamas, they know when you lay them in their crib, in their room, their body is kind of winding down. Okay, this is signaling it's time for me to go to sleep. It works the same way with adults. So you need to have predictable routines. So, like morning routines, nighttime routines. If you need a midday regulation to where you just need to stop, maybe listen to some gospel music, maybe some lo fi jazz, which is one of my favorites, and maybe, some tea, something to just maybe reflect on the day. Also, working out, which I myself am still working on. I really need to stick to a workout routine, but bear with me. Also, you need predictable support. So, not rescuers, but people to help you navigate your emotions or navigate, you know, maybe bad habits that you need to fix. Just navigate your glow up journey. Also, you need a predictable plan. So, anything that you're planning, anything that you're doing, I suggest weekly planning, which is something that I do. I do have a weekly journal I am coming out with, or a weekly planner, I should say. I'll have the link to that below. It is not quite ready yet. I'm really trying to perfect it to where it really resonates with everyone when it comes to trying to plan out your week. This has helped me a whole lot instead of daily planning. Daily planning is more just chaos. I feel like it was just me throwing a whole bunch of stuff into a barrel and just trying to figure out when can I get it all done. So definitely a predictable timeline for anything you're managing, anything you're doing, because let's face it, we all know that women wear multiple hats. We're mothers, we're friends, we're wives, we're girlfriends, we're daughters, we are Christians. And if you do have kids, we're the chef, we're the chauffeur, we're, we're our therapists to our husbands, and even sometimes friends and family members. So, yeah, definitely map out the plan, and you want to navigate as into what's more of a priority and what is not. Your nervous system calms when it trusts consistency more than hope. Some things that I have been working on that I am even still myself working on today. I stopped shaming myself for avoidance. Whether I'm avoiding bank account viewing, or I am avoiding the gym, or I'm avoiding answering my phone to all my friends and family. I still love you. Um, I'm avoiding shame on that because for me, it's not really irresponsibility. It's me putting my nervous system first and me really still trying to navigate and understand myself. And it's more so of me naming it. I am not incapable. I am overwhelmed. I also regulate before I look at any numbers, so bills, bank accounts, things like that. I try to say, you know what, it's okay. Just calm down. We're going to get through this. And yeah, I put one foot in front of the other. I also try to focus on the next step, not the whole future. I really had this bad with my anxiety. I would try to map out everything that's going to happen or the what ifs, and it would just flood me with so much anxiety and I would get overwhelmed. So I really only focus on what is my next step. And that's kind of also what I'm doing. I'm going to be doing the 12-week year. And it is a book I read. Me and my friend Nicole are actually doing it right now. I was debating on doing a video on that. So if you would like to see that, let me know. I didn't know if I wanted it to be something private or something that I could like just share and help anyone else navigate. It really helps. If you want more information on it, I can also just give that as well. Also replace doom thoughts with grounded statements. I am not failing, I am stabilizing. Because we all know when we're doing a life audit and we look around us and we look at the things we've been through, or we look at the things we didn't do, and we look at other people's lives, we are basically comparing, and we're either thinking about what we could have done better or what we should have done. So I definitely replace those negative thoughts. I stop expecting myself to be okay without structure. Every time I don't have structure within my day, even if I'm out of town, it may not be all the time. It may just be one day while I'm out of town, or either, at home if I just didn't have time. I am noticing that my body, my mind, it definitely needs structure. And something new I have been doing moving forward is even when I have a remote thought about panicking, I tell myself I am where I'm supposed to be and God has everything happen for a reason. This is really, really big for me, and it actually really, really helped. A friend of mine actually told me that was their first thought, and that was drilled into them, and it helps them, of course, along the way. Be okay with whatever is happening in life. It's not like this whole panic mode situation to, oh my God, what am I going to do? What are we going to do? Why did this happen? It's more so just, okay, this happened. This is how I feel about it. What's the next step moving forward? Because I'm where I'm supposed to be. God is either testing me or God had this happen for a reason. So let's just move forward. So if any of this resonated with you, this definitely was for you. You are not broken. You are in survival mode. Regulation first, stability comes next, and freedom after that. If you would like guided steps, I definitely linked my ebook below. It is called Grounded Women's Guide. I will leave that for you if you are interested. Take what resonated with you today and leave what didn't. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you guys in my next one. If you're not subscribed already, please do so.